Hello and welcome to the OCR demo. My name is Matt Kramer. I am a partner and developer at SixLakes Consulting. We provide NetSuite and technology consulting services, along with products for NetSuite that are a lot AI driven and just related to NetSuite automation in general. So the product that I'm going to show here is AI related. It is an OCR for AP accounting. What this is going to help is the AP team create vendor invoices to have them be more accurate, more time efficient, as well as create other miscellaneous automations. So the first thing I'm going to show is our SixLakes dashboard. So if I go SixLakes dashboard and then dashboard and click on Auto AP, this dashboard is going to hold all of our applications. So we're looking at this. It's pretty empty just for demo purposes. On the first tab, we can see the Create Bills tab. It is currently empty, and there are a few ways to capture bills within NetSuite. So the first way I'm going to show is actually emailing PDFs directly to the system. So what you'll notice is kind of a long generated NetSuite email at the top. What a lot of companies do is they create an alias email that then forwards everything to this NetSuite generated email. So I have 3 PDFs attached to this. You can attach as many PDFs as you wish, but I would say in a general rule, if it's over 10, it's better to use the bulk import functionality, which I will show. So I'm going to go ahead and just send this in. And while this is being processed, I'm going to take you through kind of the settings tab here. So kind of our philosophy in this is that we want to make this as tailored to your company as possible and give you the power to set whatever settings you want. This is going to help tailor it to your company and help the bills be generated as accurately as possible. So what we see on the general tab is one, we can set the attachments folder where we actually want these PDFs to land, as well as the bulk import CSV folder. I'm going to show that a little bit later in the demo, as well as vendor matching. So some of the times, but it's not as common, that vendors will send PDFs and invoices directly to the NetSuite generated email or the alias. If you wanted to do that, you could check this. This is going to help match the sender's email based on vendors and contacts within the system. Another tab is the tax and shipping tab. We can set specific tax and shipping settings. So here we have it defined as we want tax and shipping to be both set as expense categories. We have the option to set them as items if we wish, but we're going to keep it at expense category. And we could do the same for accounting or for accounts if we did not want an expense category. So I'm going to set this, click save. Another thing that kind of sets us apart is we're able to bring in custom body fields and line fields, which you can allocate either to the item or the expense tab. These will be sourced directly from the purchase order if the purchase order exists. And then while you're actually creating the bills, you have the option to set those values that will then show up on the bill. So I'm going to go back to our Create Bills tab, and we see that we have 3. These are the 3 that I emailed in. This does update in real time, so you don't need to refresh the page to see bills coming in or bills being created. We can see that the vendor all matched, and it brings us directly to the vendor record. So before creating a bill, what I want to do is do a bulk import. So I'm just going to select the bulk import tab here, and I'm going to select a zip file. I am going to stage it. And we can see all of our staged PDFs. This does not mean they have come in yet, but they are staged to be imported. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the Run Import. And it tells us to go over to Import History, where we will see this shortly come in as an import. So while this is happening, I want to just kind of take you through a little bit of what this import history does. This serves as a good audit if bulk imports are being done. So we can see on the left, we have a CSV, and then also on the right, we have a CSV. The ones that have that second CSV are ones that were completed with errors. So we can see here that we have a total success. This has a total of 12, but there were 6 successes and 6 failures. If we open this up, we can actually see some of the failure reasons. And it looks like we have a scripting issue, but we can also see who it was staged by. If we were to click directly on not the error one, but this one, this would show us all of the records that were being imported. So it looks like everything has been completed as we see here. If I go back over to create bills, we now have more bills from our bulk import. I'm going to go ahead and just click on the first one here. And upon opening it, what we'll see is that the invoice number was automatically set based on the PDF. The vendor was automatically selected, which brought in its currency, its terms. The terms was sourced directly from the PDF itself. There are options to source it from the vendor record rather than reading the PDF. The posting period, we see the date and the due date matches up correctly. And then in the memo, we see that there's notes down here and that all brought in correctly. And most importantly, it brought in the correct PO. So the PO is listed here, and you can see that it doesn't match exactly. So again, this uses AI and past user behavior to make the correct selection for these fields. So this has the PO attached to it. And then again, we have these custom fields that we can set. So I'm just gonna, select a value here and select a couple more. So we can see these come over when we actually create the bill. If we look at the items itself, we see that we have 4 items, but only 3 items were set here. That is because one of the lines is shipping and handling, which it correctly set in the expenses tab because of the settings that we set that I showed earlier. So it came in as an expense category rather than a line item. So the items were matched up based on the lines. It again uses AI and past user behavior to match the items and expenses to the PDF document. The quantities look like they came in correctly, the rate, amount, and importantly, the correct PO lines as well. So the country of origin, again, this is a custom field that we brought over. So it sourced the top value because the PO, that first line, has that value set, where the other 2 don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set these so that we see this come over on the newly created bill. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. And this brings us to our bill. We can see that everything looks to have set correctly. We see that the country of origin set on all 3 lines, not just one. And if I go back to the PO, we can see that it is in a fully billed status. And just to show that country of origin was only set on one line. If I go back to our dashboard here, we can see that we have a bill here, and this is a link directly to the bill to show that this has been created, and there's no more create bill button. So thank you for joining the demo. You can reach out to me directly if you have any questions or any interest in the product. My email is mkramer, Kraemer, @SixLakes Consulting. Thank you.